Hi there. Today we are talking about do-while loops. So in Java there are three main types of loops. There's the while loop, which is a pre-test loop, and then there's the do-while loop, which is a post-test loop, and then there's the for loop that we're going to learn about tomorrow. So the do-while loop is unique in the sense that it is a post-test loop, and with post-test loops, the statements in those loops will iterate at least once in your program. Now this is different from a pre-test loop because with pre-test loops an expression has to be matched. An expression has to be true in order for the statements in a pre-test loop to execute. But with a do-while loop, the statements inside the loop, they will always execute. They will always execute at least once. So there will be an iteration with the do-while loop. Now, let's go ahead and let's focus on our demonstration here. This is program 48, the Motivation Maker demo. This program is going to ask a user what they would like to hear, something motivational for them, and then the program will then tell the user their motivational phrase, and then ask the user if they want to hear it again. And if the user says yes, then the program will then display that that phrase to the user, and then it will then ask them again if they would like to hear it. So this is the Motivation Maker demo program that we're doing. The first thing that we're doing is we're importing the scanner class because we are going to grab information from that the user enters onto the screen. Right here I've got my class header, and then right here I've got my main method header. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to declare some variables here. So declare variables. So I'm going to do string. We've got a string variable called phrase, str phrase. I've got a character variable, char yes no. And then I've also got another string variable called str input. I'm going to go ahead and create a scanner object so I can read input that the user types on the screen. So scanner keyboard equals new scanner system.in, and then I'm going to get a string from the user. So I'm going to ask the user print. Whoops. I'm going to ask the user what system.out. There we go. What would you like to hear? And then we're going to take that information from the user and we're going to put that information into a variable. Oops, there we go. To do that, I'm going to say str phrase equals keyboard.next line. So we're going to ask the user what they want to hear. What would you like to hear? And then I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to, using this next line method, I'm going to put whatever they type into str phrase. So here is our loop using the do while loop. This will execute at least once. Let me move this down. Here we go. So do. So here's how we start out with the syntax. Do. So this will print the string. We're going to say system.out.println and str phrase. So this statement right here is printing the phrase that the user wants to hear that they entered up there. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to ask the user, do you wish to hear that again? So we're going to say system.out.println, would you like to hear that again? Oops, there we go. We're then going to give the user the option. Say enter Y for yes or N for no. So now we have to grab that information from the user. So we're going to say str input equals keyboard.next line. So this is very similar right here to what I was doing right here. I'm grabbing the information, that Y or that no that they type, and I'm putting that into str input, and then I'm going to put information into this character type variable. So I'm going to use the char at method to do that. So this char at method right here, this is going to grab the first character in whatever this string is, and it's going to put it into char yes no. Okay, so beneath this do while statement, you have to have the following statement. You have to have a while. So here's the second part of the do while, the while part of the statement. So char yes no equals y, or if char yes no equals lowercase y. So here's how this loop works. We're going to do all these statements, and then we're going to enter the loop right here. So do the following. It's going to print the phrase to the user. We're then going to ask the user, do you want to hear that again? Enter y for yes, and for no. We grab that, put it into a string, and then we take the first character in that string, that y or that n, hopefully, and then we put it into char yes no. Now, if the person types in a capital Y or a lowercase y, the loop will execute again, because this while statement says while char yes no equals capital Y, or while char yes no equals lowercase y, do the loop again. So if the user types n, then this while section, this while statement right here, it will prove false, and we will exit out of the loop. So let's go ahead and let's run this. Here we go. So, what would you like to hear? You look good today. And here it is. You look good today. Well, thank you very much. Would you like to hear that again? Why, yes, I would. So now I'm typing y, and this is going to match this expression right here, so the loop will loop again. And here it says it again. You look good today. Would you like to hear that again? So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to type n, and then we exit out of the loop. So, to recap, this was the Program 48, the Motivation Maker demo, and in this program we worked with a do-while loop, which is a post-test loop. The big thing about do-while loops is that they will execute at least once in your program. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you later.